13th NICMIS, minimally invasive navigation, robotics, augmented reality MIS course. Luis is maybe here already, certainly on his way, but we welcome you, and we really we're thankful for for your presence. And I want to walk you a little bit through the course, what's going to happen over the next 3 days. This is certainly the biggest course that we've done so far in terms of participants, but also in terms of the scope of the course and the design and the cadaver lab and so forth. We have 80 participants plus faculty, so almost about 100 people. And we cover 5 continents, 21 countries. The purpose of the course was always to be encompassing in terms of MIS, the technology that's out there, the new developments. Then we expanded to include endoscopy, navigation, and now more and more some of the more interesting, really cutting-edge technologies such as augmented reality, virtual reality, robotics. And with that goes also, the international scope. A lot of people come here to learn about these technologies really from all over the world, and that's very humbling, and that's also really, really exciting. So thanks again for being here. A few housekeeping details. Breakfast, break, lunch is going to be on the 2nd floor, which is downstairs. We're now on the 3rd floor. This is where the lectures are. For those of you who want to walk, there are stairs, but there's also an elevator. And so you're encouraged to use the stairs, obviously. And all the scientific activity is going to be here. The poster session, so for the first time this year, we have posters and abstracts, and we're going to have an award session tomorrow where we will award a prize to the 3 best and then to the very best poster, and those are going to be oral presentations tomorrow afternoon. The posters are downstairs. There's an exhibition area. Please make sure to obviously visit the exhibition. We've got really interesting technology. And it's obviously very important to show interest, because without the company support, this course would not really exist. So please make sure, and it's really, really interesting to see what's out there. The disclosures, and I'm not going to read through all these slides. The CME, for those of you who need the CME accreditation, obviously read through this, and you have it in your handouts again. The restrooms are upstairs and downstairs. We are on Neurosurgical TV. That's a medium that is more and more present. I've been to a number of meetings now. We were in a meeting in Tanzania a few weeks ago that was live streamed on Neurosurgical TV. That was a great success. So we're very excited to have them here, and so that's I just want to let you know. So the talks, there's some exceptions, but most talks are 10 minutes, and we try to keep 10 minutes of discussion time, because the purpose of the course obviously is to be interactive, to have discussions, and except for my talks, I'm probably always over, but everybody else stay with 10 minutes, and I'll try my best to do the same. So this is the 13th course. We started in 2007. It was a much smaller course then. But we kind of evolved over the years, and as I mentioned before, now the idea is really to cover a lot of the cutting-edge technology. There are a lot of great courses out there on minimally invasive spinal surgery and complex spinal surgery. We just had a great deformity course just a week ago here in New York. But the idea of this course, we think, is really to kind of highlight some of the technical developments within MIS, and that includes certainly now navigation, endoscopic surgery, robotics, augmented reality. So that's the idea, and the highlight of the course is certainly the cadaver lab. If I look through the past 12 courses, the faculty that has been here has been exceptional, as it is this year, and all the big names in minimally invasive surgery really have been here. And again, this year we're blessed to have a high caliber of faculty again here. And that really plays out in the cadaver lab on Saturday. So again, thank you for being here, especially for the faculty. We have a logo this year for the first time. And we partner up with Avelino, who's here, Avelino Parajon. Him and his group, they do a great course in Spain every year in June. It's called UCMIS. We called our course NUCMIS. So we thought it would be a great opportunity for those of you who are interested in MIS. We can travel to Spain in the summer and come to New York over Christmas. best possible combination. So if you want to find out more about EUCMIS, talk to Avelino. There's a little bit about the cadaver lab on Saturday. So we have 10 stations. What we've been trying over the years is we're trying to really focus, obviously, robotics, navigation. We have 2 stations where we have surgical simulation with 3D printed spine models, where you can practice your decompression techniques. I'm not going to go through all the details here, but obviously we have MIS, TLIF, lateral surgery, robotics, and so forth. So it's going to be really exciting. If you have any particular interest, let us know, and we'll try to accommodate that, of course. Otherwise, we're hoping that everybody has an interest a little bit into everything, and we'll have people rotate. And we'll have a lot of staff there to kind of help you through that. As mentioned before, we'll have surgical simulation. We have these 2 models here. We'll talk about that more. We have 2 stations where we have cervical and lumbar models that are essentially exactly like spinal pathology. They're based on real patients that we treated. And we have these modules inside those devices, and you can perform surgery under the microscope with real surgical tools, do lumbar decompression, cervical foraminotomy, cervical laminoplasty, and there's bleeding. You can get a CSF leak, and especially if you're not that well trained, you can try to fix the CSF leak. Those are great models, and we'll have them here on Saturday at 2 stations with faculty. So at least take a look at that, because eventually I think maybe there's a way to even get away from cadavers and do everything with surgical simulation. So we'll have that for the endoscopy station as well. If you come to the lab on Saturday, bring your scrubs. That makes things much easier. Don't bring a lot of luggage, because it's going to be hard to store it there. Unfortunately, we have a limited space situation. Now, in terms of I want to tell you, who's for the first time in New York? Who's the first timer? Not many people, but a few, right? And who's the first time at Cornell, New York Presbyterian Hospital, Cornell? So I always give you a little bit of a history, because it is, being European myself, I'm kind of proud to work at an institution that actually has a long history. This is one of the first, actually the second hospital in the United States, and it was founded in 1771. The first New York hospital was in Tribeca, and it served as when Washington retreated from New York, it served as as barracks basically for soldiers, for the American and then for the British forces, and then was functional as a hospital for about 50 years, and then they moved the hospital to what is now essentially 15th Street, close to Chelsea, and it was there for almost 100 years. And the interesting thing about the hospital was it was the first hospital where they had private beds. So, I guess in the old days, patients, when they had money and they were sick, they preferred to stay at home, and the doctor would come to the house. This was the first hospital where patients, actually even wealthy patients, went to the hospital. They had private beds and so forth. So and then they had a lot of sanitation facilities. And it was a cutting-edge hospital in those days. And it was on 15th Street. And then in the mid-30s or early 30s, this building was constructed here on the Upper East Side. At the time, it was a beautiful, it still is a beautiful building with these Gothic arches, and served, as a hospital until now, obviously, with new buildings that were then constructed around this older hospital. Then New York Hospital merged with Weill Cornell Medical School in the late 1800s. And then obviously the merger with NYP and then Cornell Columbia became part of New York Presbyterian Hospital. It's very complicated. I'm not going to try to explain it. I don't really understand it myself sometimes, but it is a very functional, very successful collaboration between a hospital system, essentially, and 2 universities. And obviously we're here at the Cornell campus. We have a very busy spine group at Columbia, Dan Oak Spine Hospital. We're trying to work together closer, which hopefully will happen soon. And so that's a little bit the background of the hospital system, and the universities. For those of you who've never been to New York, I always give this little introduction. Okay, I want to make sure we don't have any catastrophes happen. We're on the Upper East Side. It's very safe. But then if you don't want to go too far to south, downtown, because what's going on downtown. It's not, it could be dangerous. Upstate burbs, don't forget your passport. The West Side, same thing. You need your passport. Certainly don't venture to New Jersey. And if you want to visit a little bit of Europe, go across the East River. Greece is waiting right in Astoria, Queens. But there's no reason to go there because we have everything here. We've got the Christmas tree down there. The Explorer Club is up there for tonight. We've got Cornell. We've got a bunch of other hospitals around us. So it's a safe zone. You can walk everywhere. It's not that cold. It's not as cold as it was in some of the previous years. Got Trump Tower there if you want to visit that. And most importantly, I want to thank Luis. He's not here yet, but he's on his way, I'm sure. Has anybody visited Luis in Brazil? Who's seen him in Brazil? That's what he looks like in Brazil. You agree? Definitely. Yeah. Have you seen his tattoo? Did you notice that when he's naked in his scrubs? Yeah, he sweats a lot. Yeah, he sweats a lot. Right. Well, when he comes to New York, when he walks in, he looks like this, right? In December. So again, thanks, Luis, for being a part of this course. And then finally, I want to thank some of our fellow students and some of the staff who you met already downstairs. Roseanne, Tatiana, who you've been in touch with. They've done a great job organizing the course. We have Taylor. Taylor, do you want to stand up real quick? Taylor is a medical student or a pre-med student who's working with us. She's going to make sure we're on time, and she's going to make sure that we show up at the right place at the right time. Thanks for doing this. We've got Franzi here, Dr. Franziska Schmidt from Munich. She's a neurosurgeon who's with us for 2 years. She's going to help us through the course. And then we've got Sertac. Where's Sertac? Sertac's over there. He's a research fellow with us who's been very helpful as well. So those are your go-to people if you have any questions about the lab on Saturday, about the course now. If you have cases, we have breakout sessions. If you want to show cases, you're more than welcome to make sure that we can show those cases. So the course is going to be a lot of movement. Most of the lectures are going to be up here. And then I think today we'll have 2 breakout sessions, half the group, and we're going to announce how we're going to split up the groups a little bit later. Half the group is going to stay up here. The other half is going to go downstairs. And the moderators of those breakout sessions are going to make sure that we have cases. The purpose of the breakout sessions is mainly case discussions. We're going to have 2 breakout sessions today, 2 tomorrow. I want to thank Dr. Mitui, who runs the anatomy lab, together with Crandall Warner. And obviously, I want to thank the companies who make this course possible. So thanks a lot.